spent a weekend washing my old panel truck. I have an old panel truck, and there's lots of stories about the old panel truck. I got it when I was a young man, and I had it throughout the time I was a middle-aged man, and now I still have it. I'm an old guy, but I'm thinking about selling it on eBay, so keep an eye out for it. It's a 1954 Ford panel truck. It's a beautiful thing. I know I'll miss it. It'll be hard to sell, but I'm not a mechanic. I haven't really worked on it in 30 or 40 years, and I don't see that changing anytime in the near future. So it's parked over at Kevin's house. You remember Kevin, and because he was going to work on it too, and so I parked it at his house in exchange for a motorcycle about 5 years ago, and he hasn't done too much to it either. So we thought let's get rid of it. So I went over to Kevin's house and to wash it, make it up nice and shiny. So I did that, and we got talking about old times, Kevin and I. And when he got the truck from my garage to park in his garage, he had I told him, go ahead and just call a tow truck company. They'll come over. I lived on top of a big hill in the woods, and it was hard to maneuver around up there. So you get a tow truck, they know what they're doing. Actually, those flatbeds is the way to go. And but it's about $60-$70. And Kevin's like, I'm not gonna do that. I can get a hold of a trailer. So I said, okay. And he showed up on that weekend, that Saturday morning, with a nice trailer on the back of his van. He had a van at the time, and a big old come along. We're going to winch it up onto the trailer, and we did. It took a little maneuvering around, had to back the thing around there, and it took a while. We finally got it in place, hooked the winch up, and we cranked that panel truck up on that trailer, and it fit, but barely. It barely fit on that trailer. Barely fit on that trailer. Barely fit on that trailer. But barely fit on that trailer. The tires were just hanging off the edge, just barely, and the front of it was all the way to the front, where the winch was only about this much long, and the back was sticking right on the end, but it fit on there, and it's a pretty good sized truck, even compared to his van. So we got it on there. We took a break, had a soda, and it's down in the garage, and we actually got talking about, we saw a fire extinguisher there that my old buddy Gary used to fill that on the side. We worked together in construction, but Gary also had a fire extinguisher company going on. And Gary passed away a few years ago. It's been about 12 years now. So R.I.P. Gary. I miss you, buddy. And there's probably some Gary stories I can pull out of the old sock, but so we got talking about Gary and old times and seeing this fire extinguisher, and then I got time for Kevin to leave, and we had wasted enough time talking about old times and fire extinguishers. He got in his van and he started going down the hill, and the first thing we noticed was the weight of the panel truck pushed a little bit down, and the van was not really doing a wheelie, but you could tell that it was up a little bit on the front end, off the shocks and the springs and whatnot. And Kevin got in it and he started pulling away. He goes, "Man, this is really easy to steer." The wheels were hardly touching the ground, I guess. So I was like, "You sure you're okay?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm okay. We're saving $75 or whatever." So he started going down the hill, and I'm saying top of the hill, waving, "See you, buddy. See ya." And he's going down the hill. I see you. And about halfway down the hill, it turns a little bit, and then it turns a lot. And I see Kevin, and he's going straight down the hill, and then he gets to the turn, and I see Kevin, and he keeps going straight off the road, and I see Kevin, he goes farther and farther off the road until finally he stops, and his van's completely off the road into the trees and the brush. And I'm like, what is going on? So I start walking down the hill. I see him getting out, and he's all mad, going, "Stupid van!" And Kevin says stupid a lot. So he's getting out in a stupid van. He opens the door, and he's in a bush or a sapling or something, and it's getting all in him, face and ears and stuff. And he's going, stupid tree. And he finally gets out and slams the door. And what had happened is that he couldn't steer. Yes, it was very easy to steer, but it also couldn't steer because of the weight of that thing. And he got going down the hill, and that panel truck pushed him right off the road, and he was stuck and all ticked off. And all of a sudden, I see Kevin. As I'm heading down the hill towards him, I see Kevin kind of looking underneath it, and Kevin turned around and started running up the hill towards me. Where's that fire extinguisher? Where's that fire extinguisher? I need that fire extinguisher. Where's that fire extinguisher? He'd blasting past me. He goes, where's that fire extinguisher? Runs into the garage and comes blasting back out with a fire extinguisher. And I look down toward the van. I see smoke coming out of around the front tires. And all of a sudden he's just flying, leaps and crashes down on the ground and starts blasting the fire extinguisher on it. What had happened, the van was hot underneath there in the manifold and everything, and it had got into that brush and leaves, and the leaves caught fire and it started a fire. It's a good thing Gary provided that fire extinguisher. That melted a hose on Kevin's van. He put the fire out. He came back up. We thought we'd have another soda. Kevin's pretty much walking around in circles. Stupid van, stupid hose, stupid leaves. He was acting pretty stupid. Well, what happened was he had to get two tow trucks. He had to get one to tow the panel truck over to his house, and then he had to get another one to pull the van out of the woods and tow it home because the hose had melted, and he had to get that fixed. So he wasn't very happy. I didn't bring that up Sunday because he gets mad about stuff like that, but it just goes to show that, sometimes you can't save a dime. Sometimes you got a good idea and you think you're going to save some money, and the voice of experience is usually a wise voice. So just listen to the voice of experience. If someone says, I've done this 2 or 3 times or 100 times before, and this is the best way I found to do it, you're usually better off just doing it that way because it's a winner. There could be better ways. There could be different ways. And you could find yourself having to put on a fire. I guess the other lesson I learned is always have a fire extinguisher handy. You never know when you might need one.